Before I begin, can I get a show of hands? How many of you here have lost trust in a company before? Thank you. We are JWT, and today we aim to achieve two objectives: to rebuild trust of the society and to move our company towards a consensus brand. Now, with that in mind, we have identified 4 key issues: boycott by customers, employee morale affected, reputation damage, and negative actions by NGO. We have structured our solutions into 3 stages: short, medium, and long-term solution. For our short-term solution, we will first call for a press conference to publicly apologize to all parties affected. And now, in today's society, the thirst for transparency is real. Therefore, this press conference aims to acknowledge our wrongdoings and to report findings based on investigation done. Moving forward, peacekeepers will be established. Who are the peacekeepers? Peacekeepers is a special task force which consists of members from the Labour Department and also the NGOs. Peacekeepers' objective is to help resolve sweatshop issues involving our company. And the function of peacekeepers will be further explained as part of our medium and long-term solution.
For medium term, with the peacekeepers' objective in mind, we have initiated an SSBO project. SSBO stands for Small Steps, Big Outcome. Small steps refers to the customers, and together we can achieve something bigger. So how does the customers contribute? Very simple. The SSBO has the idea of contributing 10% of our revenue to the SSBO fund. This fund will be used to fund the peacekeepers' activities. Next, the fund will be used by the peacekeepers to increase the amount paid to our suppliers. This can promote a fair living wage to the factory workers without stressing out our suppliers on costs. SSBO will be governed by the peacekeepers to ensure that the fund is used economically, effectively, and efficiently. SSBO aims to engage our customers. However, to engage our suppliers, we have revised a new code of business practices. This code focuses on healthy work practices and will be recommended to our suppliers. Our code is called PAS, which stands for Paying Fair Wages, Abuse Prevention, Safe Working Environment, and Suitable Working Hours. To review the compliance of the PAS, a factory audit will be carried out by the peacekeepers. Next, a whistleblowing function will also be provided for the factory workers to report any abuses.
The code aims to support, not force our suppliers. We want our suppliers to be motivated to comply. To do that, we introduced the SRSD, Supplier Ranking System Database. Our suppliers will be ranked Gold, Silver, and Bronze. Gold suppliers will be awarded more volumes at a higher price. So hear me out. The higher the volumes, the higher the sales, the higher the margins. That's fantastic, isn't it? Low-rank suppliers will be encouraged to comply. We do that through the peacekeepers who will provide assistance and expertise if and when they need. We do not believe in terminating contracts because that would be unfair to the workers whom are really suffering. Apart from that, we hope to convince our competitors that purchasing from sweatshop is unethical, unsustainable, and worst of all, irresponsible. That's why we plan to initiate the Say No to Sweatshops agreement. This agreement will be based upon the revised code of business practices, the PAS. The idea is to invite our competitors to join us in our efforts and beliefs in eradicating sweatshop. This is done by bringing together our purchasing power and pushing for fair living wage. So, in a nutshell, we see this crisis as an opportunity. We will change ourselves through peacekeepers. We will engage our customers with SSBO. We will engage our suppliers with SRSD, and an agreement will make it all just perfect.
By changing ourselves, we change the world. Thank you.
Question time?
Okay, thank you. You can step forward if you wish to. Right? I can see you closer as well. So let me kick this off. You have a number of solutions here, again, short, medium, and long term, interesting ones. So if you were running this business and you had to actually ensure that you address these issues, but at the same time deliver your returns to shareholders, my initial impression on looking at this is that some of these are nice to have, but it's going to cost us a lot and not practical, because at the end of the day, it is going to cost, it doesn't give the right returns back to me in the longer term. Costly, maybe impracticable. You're talking about a fund, 10% of sales is not a small amount. How would you respond to that? If that question is put to you, how feasible are these solutions?
Right, so thank you for your question, Mr. Sri. So I understand your concern. It's a business at the end of the day. So if you don't mind entertaining me for a while, I have prepared cash flow statement. So it's from. Sorry. Right, so first we have to find out what's the cost of the factory audit, and it's actually 6 million because, so our assumptions, what's our assumptions? The audit team will comprise of, it's all peacekeepers. So peacekeepers consist of two, which is the NGO and also the labor department representative. So we have 3 NGO and 2 labor representatives because we believe NGOs are more integrity, so it's check and balance, right? So 5 people, and then we assume that one factory audit requires 3 days, right? So we also assume that we don't need to pay a salary to that because the idea is actually we are providing a fund for them to do what they believe in. So NGO do what they believe in, labor union also can change, right? So we only support their transport, food, accommodation, which we calculated as $24.24, right? So to move on to the next page, so 6 million is the number. So from year 2 to year 5 will be what we implement, and so that will be the cost. That was when our cost will be incurred.
How would you sum that up? We have a number of other questions, but how would you sum up that? So we appreciate the point you've got numbers to work out here, but how do you sum up? What's your summary from conclusion?
So to go straight to the point,
yes.
It's a positive positive NPV, so it enhances shareholder return, and we are very conservative in our estimation. So for example, we don't take tax saving into account. We assume our sales is 20 billion straight. We got 20 billion number through the top 3, H&M, Zara, and Uniqlo, fast retailing. We also have an idea where to reduce the pressure on the fund, we can partner with government to get government grant. And the last point is the required return we estimate is 24%, which is the required return now. But in future, it will revert to the mean, which will be less. So actually, the return will be much higher.
So you think this can be done in an economically feasible manner?
Yes.
I saw that you have the last one is say no to sweatshop agreements, right?
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. But say for example, right, factory A subcontracts some parts of the clothing to factory B. Factory B subcontracts it to another factory. But the agreements only apply to A and B.
No,
and then B and C, the C factory does not apply the no sweatshop. How do we address?
So first of all, actually, this agreement is not for the factory owners. This agreement is for our industry players. So it's one agreement, 3 steps. Firstly, you raise awareness. How you going to do that is going to print say no to sweatshop on our paper bag, and also present a market survey form to our customers. So with that, you can find out what customers actually think and feel about sweatshop. Then we use that data and present to our competitors to encourage them and to prove them that customers are actually knowledgeable about sweatshop. And we also read a statistic that customers are actually willing to pay more if they know that the product does not come from sweatshop. So we use that data and convince our industry competitors to sign an agreement. So the third step is to disclose. We have a public, we disclose it publicly to companies who have signed, Uniqlo, H&M, whatever, who have signed. And then, so it's just one agreement, 3 steps. The agreement is not for factory workers. The agreement is for industry players.
Yeah. So if the industry players goes on board,
yes,
and the subcontractors are normally the SMEs or below, it's not on board.
Yeah, then
and they can all say that they are, in this, they are under this no sweatshop agreement, which they are, because they are they are made aware of this, but their subcontractors are not.
Yeah, but then we in the medium version we also have whistleblowing. So we actually will know which factory comply and which factory don't comply. Yeah. Yeah. So the same on the sweatshop is like we have taken the risk for the first 2 to 5 years. We have set up peacekeepers kind of thing. So what we're saying to our competitors is we cannot do this alone. So we are inviting them to implement our ideas, and we are providing advice to them also, because we cannot do it alone. So regarding your question on subcontract, or whether we're worried, because some practice is true that they subcontract, right? So that's why we have the SRSD, which is, so the SRSD is a database of suppliers. So the peacekeepers will be there in the ground to actually check with the factory audit whether they comply or not. So we can check if they actually don't pay properly and they subcontract, we will know one, because hope that answers your question.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. Sorry, you want to go ahead? This question. Can we go to the last slide? Yeah. So it's interesting to see that you have the trajectory in terms of what you want to do with GWT, customers, suppliers, industry players, right?
Yeah.
And you have time frame for this, like short term. Short term is
1 year.
1 year, right? You have middle term for medium term for 2.5 and 5 years. And you do realize that when you talk about all these things like GWT, customer, suppliers, industry players, they are like ecosystem when you do a business. It's clear that you say that you have the SSBO in 2.5 years time, but the issue is now, and how do you actually mitigate the issue at that current situation in terms of trying to build that trust, and how do you do that?
Right. Thank you for question, Ms. Kasmariza. So we choose customers first, because first, if our customers is on board, only then we can convince the suppliers and industry players, because then we have the leverage. So how do we convince our customers? So we plan to have a marketing campaign, right? So what's the easiest way to bring awareness to customers? Celebrities. So JWT, right? JWT is our team name. So vertically, we plan to have marketing on a badge. So J, the celebrity name, wears this. So in this room, there's like people of all ages, this kind of thing, right? So for technologists, Jack Ma. For older people, Jet Li. For young people, Justin Bieber. And for athletes, Jeremy Lin. So that's our marketing campaign to bring the fire, to bring on board. Yeah. And we plan to, based on the investment appraisal, is 3.5% of our sales, which is what H&M is putting for the marketing cost as well.
So you know your workers, they've got friends, they've got family, basically they're part of the community there where you've set out your factories and all that. Did you talk about how you're going to rebuild the trust with the community, and how you're going to ensure that you take care of these workers who've been affected by your sweatshop conditions?
Right, so we didn't want to be too ambitious, so we just focus on eradicating sweatshops. So we don't actually use the fund to give microfinance and all those things. We focus on one small part first, which is paying a fair living wage. So to answer your question, we don't really try and build a community. What we do is we pay a fair living wage, which my teammate can explain what is the definition of fair living wage.
So a fair living wage is a basic human right. So according to the Asia Floor Wage, it's an organization that actually promote a fair living wage throughout the Asia. So they come up with a figure for the fair living wage. The figure can be calculated. I mean, it will include the basic living expenses of 3 adults. So it means if you're paying a wage, right, the wage have to include the worker itself, and then one carrying adult that is carrying their children, and 2 children, which is around $248 per month.
And this wage changes every year.
I'm going to throw a comment in, and then let me know how do you think this would impact your solution. So many studies have been done to say factory audits are not effective. Why are they not effective? Because you give notice that you're going to inspect the factory.
Yeah.
The factory manager changes everything. They clear the emergency exits and all that sort of thing. Given that sort of context, would you keep the design of your medium-term solution with the factory audits and whistleblowing, or would you adjust that? And if so, how?
Right. Thank you for the question, Mr. Andrew. To answer your question, so what I'm hearing is you're saying we give a notice before we conduct factory audit so they can clear up the mess, so to speak, right?
Not so you can clear up the mess, but
That's what
normally you, when you do factory audits, you have to give notice to
Right.
say a team is coming, because you have to arrange for access, etc. And so when you give notice, notice also means that if practices are not being followed, they clean things up beforehand. So that's why people talk about ineffectiveness of factory audits. So if that is the situation, would you change the way you're looking at how you look at codes of business practices?
So, it's a two-part process. So, but to answer, to just kind of explain what we do in our factory audit.
Okay, you got 1 minute to respond to that question.
All right. So we have a checklist. The checklist will be based on the past. So it's just a checklist. So for example, you talk to the workers there whether your wages are paid on time and the amount. So if the workers will not, if let's say the workers is afraid to tell us that they're not paid well, what we have is we have the hotline which they can call. It's a free hotline. They can call to JWT Audit Committee, because the Peacekeeper is actually a committee under JWT. So for example, let's say if a firm is unethical and they want to use sweatshop, they will have an independent committee. But we want to transition to an ethical brand, that's why it's a dependent committee. It's not independent.
Okay, just to wrap up, I have one final question which you need to give me a 30-second response, any one of you. Your closing tagline was every crisis is an opportunity. What is the opportunity here?
So there's a lot of research. Most of the time, it's more than 50% of customers will be willing to pay more for a product. So actually, a research for a University of Massachusetts showed that for $10 product, it's 28%. For $100 product, it's 15%. So the opportunity here is we have made a mistake. We can transition to an ethical brand where we can actually bring. So there's a mega trend. There's a mega trend that customers are being paid more. So it's our chance to transition to an ethical brand so that, like the cash flow show that we can have more sales and this kind of thing. And yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.